Cadets said humans can't survive impact. She caught the charging beast and slammed it to the floor. The academy was a place where cadets from countless planets came to prove themselves, to test their strength, skill, and courage. Today was different. Today, all eyes would be on Kayla Voss, a human lieutenant whose presence alone sparked whispered doubts among her fellow cadets. Most species had always considered humans fragile, their bodies delicate compared to the hulking frames of the other cadets. They said humans could not withstand real combat, could not survive the kind of force that made seasoned warriors stumble. Kayla had heard it all before, yet she had never let it shake her. The arena was vast, a massive dome with reinforced glass walls and high ceilings that could withstand any impact. The floor was made of specialized alloy tiles that could absorb shock, yet even they would tremble when faced with the challenge prepared for her. At the far end of the arena, the massive beast stood waiting. It was a creature engineered for one purpose: to test the limits of its opponents. Its body was a combination of organic tissue and metallic armor, designed to move with terrifying speed while maintaining the raw power of a living weapon. Its eyes glowed a fierce red, scanning the room with intelligence that went beyond instinct. Cadets filled the stands surrounding the arena. Many whispered to each other, their voices tinged with skepticism. "Humans cannot survive impact," one muttered, his gaze locked on Kayla. Another laughed softly. "She'll barely last 5 seconds." Kayla heard none of it, though. Her focus was entirely on the beast before her and the training she had endured for years. Her mind was calm, her heart steady. She had prepared for this moment her entire life. The instructors were a mixture of seasoned warriors and scientists, their expressions neutral but observant. They had seen countless species attempt the challenge, many faltering under the beast's raw power. Few had succeeded, and none had done so with the elegance and precision Kayla had practiced tirelessly. She moved to the center of the arena, her boots making a soft thud against the alloy floor. She felt the weight of the stairs, the silent judgment of 1,000 cadets, yet she stood tall, unshaken. The beast shifted, its muscles rippling under the metallic plates covering its body. It let out a low growl that vibrated through the arena, a sound designed to intimidate and unsettle. Kayla did not flinch. Instead, she adjusted her stance, her feet shoulder-width apart, knees slightly bent, ready to absorb whatever force came her way. She remembered her training. Humans were not the strongest, not the largest, but they were adaptable. They could anticipate, react, and use the strength of their opponents against them. A signal light flashed, green, indicating the start of the trial. The beast surged forward, faster than Kayla could have imagined. The ground shook with each step it took, and a gust of air pushed against her face. Cadets gasped in the stands, some instinctively taking a step back, unable to look directly at the approaching terror. Kayla's eyes never wavered. She timed her movement with precision, calculating the moment to meet the force head-on. The first collision was thunderous. The beast's armored body struck Kayla with tremendous force, enough to send most beings flying. But Kayla absorbed it, bending her knees and rolling slightly, letting her body move with the impact rather than resist it entirely. The alloy floor cracked under the pressure, sparks flying from the friction. For a heartbeat, it seemed as if the world itself paused. Then Kayla shifted, gripping the beast with a strength that belied her size. The cadets were frozen, watching in disbelief. No human had ever done anything like this. Kayla's hands found leverage against the creature's massive shoulders, her arms burning from the effort, yet she did not falter. She felt the beast's energy, its momentum, and she made a choice that few others could even conceive. With a swift motion, she twisted her body, redirecting the force downward. The beast hit the floor with a deafening crash, sending a shockwave through the arena that rattled the glass walls. Dust rose, and the metal tiles groaned under the impact. Silence fell. The cadets stared in awe, unable to comprehend what they had just witnessed. The beast struggled, but Kayla's grip and timing had neutralized its power. She stood over it, breathing evenly, eyes steady and confident. She had done what they said was impossible. Humans could survive impact, could endure forces that others deemed lethal. And she had done it not through brute strength alone, but through precision, courage, and human ingenuity. The instructors approached cautiously, their expressions a mixture of astonishment and respect. "Remarkable," one said, his voice low, almost reverent. "I did not believe it possible." Kayla nodded respectfully, acknowledging their words but not letting them define her. This was not about proving others wrong. It was about pushing herself, testing the limits of human potential, and showing that determination could overcome expectation. The cadets, whispers turned to murmurs of admiration. Some approached her hesitantly, their skepticism giving way to curiosity. They asked questions about her training, her methods, how she had calculated the beast's movements so precisely. Kayla answered each calmly, emphasizing the importance of observation, adaptability, and remaining calm under pressure. "Strength alone is not enough," she said. "You must understand your opponent, anticipate their moves, and use your mind as much as your body." The beast, now subdued but still alive, became a symbol in the academy. It represented the challenges cadets would face and the necessity of thinking beyond conventional limits. Kayla had not only survived, she had demonstrated a new way to approach combat and training, one that would inspire cadets for years to come. As she left the arena, her boots echoing on the metal floor, Kayla felt a mixture of satisfaction and anticipation. This was only the beginning. Humanity had always been underestimated, and now the cadets would begin to understand that underestimation was their greatest mistake. She knew the journey ahead would be filled with greater challenges, but she was ready. Her strength was not just in her body, but in her mind, her courage, and the unyielding spirit that defined humans. Outside the arena, the sun hung high in the sky, illuminating the academy in golden light. Cadets gathered in clusters, discussing the events they had witnessed. The whispers of doubt had been replaced with respect, awe, and a budding curiosity about what humans could accomplish. Some began to rethink their own limitations, inspired by what they had seen. Kayla, meanwhile, remained focused on her path, aware that this demonstration was a stepping stone, not the destination. Back in the training halls, she prepared for the next phase of her journey. Humans were often underestimated, but that underestimation was a weapon in itself. Kayla knew that with every challenge, every trial, and every encounter, she had the opportunity to redefine what it meant to be human. Today, she had shown resilience. Tomorrow, she would show innovation, strategy, and heart. She would push the limits further, inspiring not just her fellow humans, but everyone around her. The Academy had witnessed the impossible, and the impossible had a new name: Kayla Voss. The arena had barely settled from the impact when Kayla Voss returned to the training halls, her mind buzzing with the outcome of the demonstration. The cadets still whispered in awe, replaying the moment in their heads. Even the instructors, who had seen countless species face the charging beast, could not hide their amazement. Kayla, however, remained calm. She knew that admiration was temporary. The true test of a human was not in surviving one challenge, but in facing what came next with courage, intelligence, and unyielding determination. As she walked through the wide corridors of the academy, she noticed cadets from other species staring at her with a mixture of curiosity and respect. Some tried to mask their shock with casual conversation, but Kayla saw through it. They had not expected a human to catch a creature of that size and strength. Her presence alone was starting to change perceptions. She felt a subtle satisfaction, but she did not dwell on it. There were more challenges ahead, and each demanded complete focus. Kayla reached the human quarters, a simple yet functional space filled with equipment designed for training and recovery. Unlike the technologically advanced quarters of other species, hers was minimal, relying on utility rather than luxury. She removed her armor, letting her body breathe and recover from the force she had just endured. Even human muscles, trained to their peak, needed rest after absorbing such impact. She stretched deliberately, feeling the tension in her shoulders, arms, and legs. Every movement was controlled, precise, as if her body itself were practicing another kind of training, discipline. While she stretched, she thought about the beast in the arena. It had been formidable, yes, but it was only a simulation. The real challenges would be far more unpredictable. Aliens with advanced exoskeletons, weapons beyond human imagination, environments designed to test limits of endurance, all of these awaited. And yet, Kayla did not feel fear. Humans had survived the harshest conditions on countless worlds, adapting, innovating, and thriving where others failed. She remembered her training on Earth's harsh deserts and frozen mountains, where survival meant using wit as much as strength. That experience had taught her something invaluable. Humans were survivors because they could think, adapt, and endure when others would break. Her thoughts were interrupted by a soft chime from the communication panel. A message from Commander Rylan, the head of the Orion Academy, appeared on the screen. "Kayla," the message began, "your demonstration has exceeded all expectations. We request your presence in the strategy chamber immediately. There are developments you must see firsthand." Kayla nodded, standing and quickly equipping her light armor once more. She moved swiftly, her boots clicking on the polished metal floors as she made her way to the strategy chamber. The corridors were lined with cadets and instructors, all giving her respectful nods. Whispers followed her. "The human who caught the beast," they murmured. "She may change everything." Kayla ignored the attention. Recognition was secondary, preparation and strategy were her true priorities. The strategy chamber was a large, circular room with holographic displays floating above the center table. Commander Rylan, a tall figure with pale blue skin and piercing eyes, stood at the head of the table. Several senior instructors surrounded him, along with a small group of cadets selected for advanced tactical training. Kayla approached and saluted, her posture perfect, her expression composed. "Lieutenant Voss," Commander Rylan began, his tone formal but tinged with genuine interest. "Your actions in the arena have caused a shift in our assessment of human potential. But as impressive as your demonstration was, we face a new situation, one that may test not only your strength but your adaptability and leadership." Kayla listened carefully as Rylan explained the scenario. A remote training station on the outskirts of Orion space had reported unusual readings. The area, previously thought uninhabitable, showed signs of a massive creature, larger and more intelligent than any known to the Academy. Sensors indicated it could reach speeds and deliver forces far beyond the limits of most species, endurance. The challenge was not only to contain the creature, but to study it without causing unnecessary destruction to the environment. "You will lead a small team to assess and contain this entity," Rylan continued. "Your mission requires precision, quick thinking, and human resilience. We believe you are uniquely suited for this task." Kayla's mind raced, analyzing every detail of the briefing. The stakes were high, yet she felt a surge of determination. Humans thrived in situations where others faltered. The unpredictability of the creature, combined with the need to protect the environment, would demand every ounce of her training. But she did not hesitate. "Understood, Commander," she replied, her voice steady. "I will prepare immediately." Back in her quarters, Kayla gathered her equipment. Advanced sensors, reinforced gloves, and adaptive armor were packed carefully. She checked every piece of gear, knowing that in such situations, even the smallest failure could lead to disaster. As she prepared, she thought about her team. The Academy had assigned 3 other cadets, a strong exoskeletal warrior from Tharix, a nimble and intelligent pilot from Lumeria, and a strategist from Orion Prime. Each brought unique skills, but none had her experience in surviving extreme impact. It would be her responsibility to coordinate their efforts and ensure their success. When the team assembled, Kayla greeted them with confidence. "We don't know exactly what we'll face," she began, her tone calm yet commanding. "But we know this, no matter how strong or fast it is, we can outthink it, adapt to it, and work together. Stick to the plan, observe carefully, and trust each other. Humans survive because we do not panic and we do not give up." The journey to the remote training station took hours aboard a sleek, advanced shuttle. During the flight, the cadets practiced drills, familiarizing themselves with the terrain and reviewing possible scenarios. Kayla observed closely, noting each team member's strengths and weaknesses. She offered guidance and corrections, ensuring that everyone was aligned. Her focus was unrelenting, and the other cadets gradually realized that her calm confidence was not arrogance. It was preparation born from experience. As they approached the station, sensors detected the creature. The readings were staggering. The creature's size exceeded any known parameters, its movement patterns were erratic, and its intelligence suggested a capacity for learning and adaptation. Cadets gasped, but Kayla remained composed. She analyzed the data, noting patterns in the creature's movements and predicting its possible behavior. Humans were uniquely capable of this type of thinking, combining observation, intuition, and rapid adaptation. The shuttle landed at a safe distance, and the team disembarked. The terrain was rough, covered in jagged rocks and dense vegetation, designed to test endurance. Kayla led the team cautiously, scanning for signs of the creature. Suddenly, movement in the distance caught their attention. The creature emerged from the shadows, massive and imposing, its eyes glowing with intelligence. Its muscles rippled under the armor like scales, and it moved with a speed that belied its size. Kayla signaled the team to halt. She studied the creature, noting its stance, timing, and potential attack patterns. The creature charged without warning, testing the team's reaction. The exoskeletal warrior moved to intercept but was nearly knocked back. The pilot dodged swiftly while the strategist analyzed the creature's attack trajectory. Kayla remained steady, her mind calculating, her body ready. When the creature lunged toward her, Kayla did something unexpected. She did not dodge. Instead, she absorbed its impact, bending her knees and redirecting its momentum. The creature crashed to the ground, stunned but not defeated. The cadets watched in amazement, realizing that Kayla's skill in managing force and impact was unmatched. She had taken everything the creature could give and used it against itself. "Follow my lead," she instructed calmly. "We need to contain it, not destroy it. Move carefully and watch its reactions." The team advanced together, coordinated and precise. Kayla's leadership and strategic thinking allowed them to navigate the dangerous terrain while keeping the creature in check. Her actions inspired confidence, showing that humans could not only survive extreme force, but also lead others to success in situations that seemed impossible. As the sun began to set, the team successfully guided the creature into a containment zone using non-lethal restraints and advanced tracking technology. The mission was a success, and the cadets' perception of humans had shifted irreversibly. Kayla had demonstrated not only resilience and strength, but also intelligence, leadership, and the capacity to face the unknown without fear. That night, as the team set up camp near the containment zone, Kayla reflected on the day. She knew that humanity's true strength lay not in brute force, but in determination, adaptability, and courage. The cadets who once doubted her now saw what she already knew. Humans were capable of surviving and thriving in ways that defied expectation. And Kayla Voss had only just begun to prove it. The night at the remote training station was calm, yet an undercurrent of tension lingered. The containment zone hummed softly with energy fields, holding the massive creature in place. Kayla Voss sat near the perimeter, her arms resting on her knees as she watched the creature pace, its glowing eyes reflecting intelligence and curiosity rather than mere instinct. She knew that containment was only temporary. Understanding the creature's behavior was the next crucial step. Every movement, every reaction could teach them something valuable, not just about the creature, but about survival itself. The other cadets rested nearby, though sleep did not come easily. The exoskeletal warrior kept a quiet watch, muscles tense even in repose, while the Lumerian pilot and Orion strategist reviewed their notes and recorded observations. Kayla had instructed them to document everything, emphasizing that even small details could be critical. She herself did not sleep, focusing instead on monitoring the creature and preparing for the challenges they might face once the sun rose. When the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, Kayla gathered her team. The creature's pacing had revealed patterns in its behavior, how it responded to changes in terrain, how it reacted to subtle shifts in the energy field, and even the small moments of hesitation that betrayed its thought process. Kayla shared her observations, outlining a plan to move the containment process forward while minimizing risk. "We don't just survive by reacting," she explained. "We survive by understanding. We anticipate, we adapt, and we act with precision. That is what humans excel at." The team followed her lead as they entered the containment zone, moving cautiously to avoid startling the creature. Kayla positioned herself between the creature and the energy field, her stance calm but ready. The creature's gaze fixed on her, its intelligence clear. It charged suddenly, faster than anyone anticipated, testing the limits of the team's coordination. Kayla reacted instinctively. She shifted her weight, letting the creature's momentum carry it past her while maintaining balance and control. Then, with a swift and decisive motion, she redirected the creature's path, guiding it toward a reinforced section of the energy field designed to contain high-impact forces. The other cadets followed her signals, positioning themselves strategically to ensure the containment remained intact. The creature's massive body collided with the energy field, sending a ripple through the ground. Sparks flew where metal reinforced the field, yet it held firm. The cadets watched, their eyes wide with awe. Kayla had absorbed and redirected the creature's charge, not just surviving it but using it to their advantage. Her actions were not brute force. They were calculated, precise, and executed with a calm confidence that only humans could maintain under extreme pressure. After the initial confrontation, Kayla signaled a brief halt. She knelt, examining the ground and the creature's movements. Small scratches on the alloy floor and faint disturbances in the energy field gave her insight into the creature's strength and strategies. "It's learning," she explained. "Every attempt to escape teaches it. We must stay unpredictable while maintaining control. Anticipate its moves, but never underestimate its intelligence." The day progressed with careful observation and controlled exercises. Kayla guided the team in testing the creature's reactions to various stimuli, sounds, light patterns, and subtle shifts in terrain. Each time, the creature responded with increasing sophistication, demonstrating that its intelligence was not just instinct, but reasoning. Kayla documented every reaction, formulating strategies that could contain it without harm. She emphasized patience to the team, reminding them that humans had survived extreme conditions on countless worlds because they were persistent, observant, and adaptable. By midday, the creature had learned to recognize predictable patterns, occasionally outmaneuvering the team's initial attempts. Kayla recognized that this was an opportunity, not a failure. She called the team together and explained a new approach. Rather than forcing the creature into predictable routes, they would create dynamic paths, guiding it subtly while remaining ready to react. "We survive because we adapt faster than the environment challenges us," she said. "That is why humans thrive. We adjust, we improvise, and we act decisively when the moment demands it." The team implemented Kayla's plan with careful precision. As the creature moved through the controlled pathways, Kayla anticipated its charges, positioning herself to absorb impact when necessary. She caught the creature's momentum in a manner reminiscent of her arena demonstration, redirecting it to guide the massive beast without harm. Each interaction tested her limits, yet she remained composed, drawing strength from focus, experience, and the unyielding human spirit. During one critical moment, the creature executed an unexpected maneuver, lunging toward the edge of the containment zone. Kayla reacted instinctively, planting her feet firmly and catching the charge with a controlled twist. The energy reverberated through her body, but she maintained control, redirecting the creature's movement and ensuring it remained within the reinforced perimeter. The cadets observed in awe, recognizing that no other species could withstand such force with the same precision and calm. After the maneuver, Kayla took a brief moment to catch her breath. She could feel the strain in her muscles, but it was not fatigue, it was exhilaration. This was human resilience at its finest, enduring, calculating, and executing under pressure. She watched the creature, noting its responses. Each test revealed its intelligence, its adaptability, and its capacity to learn from every interaction. Kayla realized that understanding this creature required more than brute force. It required observation, empathy, and insight, a combination that humans had perfected over millennia. The afternoon brought a new challenge. The creature suddenly became agitated, responding aggressively to a subtle shift in terrain. Kayla quickly assessed the situation, signaling the team to reposition. She stepped forward to intercept the creature's charge, her body absorbing the full impact. The collision sent a shockwave through the containment zone, yet Kayla remained steady. With a precise adjustment, she redirected the creature, guiding it safely into a newly reinforced section. The cadets followed her lead, coordinating movements seamlessly under her guidance. As the day wore on, the team continued to refine their techniques, learning from both the creature and Kayla's leadership. Her strategy emphasized balance, control without aggression, guidance without restraint, and precision without hesitation. The cadets began to internalize her methods, recognizing that survival was not about overpowering a challenge, but about understanding it and responding intelligently. By evening, the creature had settled into a rhythm, moving predictably yet cautiously within the containment zone. Kayla gathered the team for a debrief, emphasizing lessons learned and highlighting areas for improvement. She praised their adaptability and coordination, but reminded them that complacency was dangerous. "The moment we assume victory is the moment we are most vulnerable," she said. "Humans survive because we remain vigilant, learn continuously, and act decisively. That is what makes us strong." After the debrief, Kayla remained near the containment zone, observing the creature as the sun dipped below the horizon. She reflected on the day's events, recognizing the significance of what they had achieved. Not only had they contained a powerful and intelligent creature, but they had done so through teamwork, observation, and human ingenuity. The cadets' perceptions had shifted dramatically. Doubts about human fragility were replaced with respect for adaptability, strategy, and resilience. That night, as the team rested, Kayla continued to analyze data, noting the creature's behavior and responses. Every detail mattered: the angle of a charge, the timing of a pause, the subtle shifts in balance. Humans had always survived because they noticed what others overlooked, adapted quickly, and acted decisively. Kayla knew that this skill would be essential in the challenges yet to come. The next morning brought a final test. The creature, seemingly aware of the team's presence and strategies, executed a coordinated series of charges, testing their coordination and adaptability. Kayla anticipated each movement, positioning herself to absorb impact when necessary and redirecting momentum to maintain control. The team followed her lead, responding to her subtle signals and executing maneuvers with precision. After several cycles of charges, the creature paused, observing the team with what seemed like recognition. Kayla realized that their efforts had not only contained the creature physically, but had also communicated something through their actions. Humans were capable of surviving, adapting, and overcoming even when faced with overwhelming force. The cadets understood the lesson clearly, inspired not just by Kayla's skill, but by the human spirit she represented. As the sun rose higher in the sky, Kayla guided the team in securing the creature for transport back to the academy for further study. The mission had been a success, but more importantly, it had demonstrated the defining qualities of humanity: courage, intelligence, adaptability, and unyielding resilience. The cadets had witnessed firsthand that humans were not fragile; they were extraordinary, capable of thriving where others faltered. Kayla's actions that day would resonate through the academy for years to come. She had not only survived the impossible, but had turned it into a lesson of hope, strategy, and human potential. The creature, once a symbol of overwhelming force, had become a testament to the power of observation, teamwork, and ingenuity. And as Kayla prepared for the journey back to the academy, she knew that the challenges ahead would only grow greater. Yet she felt no fear, only determination. Humans survived because they adapted, because they persisted, and because they refused to be underestimated. Kayla Voss had proven that beyond a shadow of a doubt. The journey back to Orion Academy was quiet, the shuttle gliding smoothly through the upper atmosphere of the distant planet. Kayla Voss sat with her arms folded, her gaze fixed on the stars streaming past the windows. Even after a day of intense training and observation, her mind was alive with analysis, thoughts, and plans. The mission had been a success, but she knew that in the academy, success was never enough. Humans were not admired for short-term victories. They were respected for endurance, intelligence, and the ability to overcome challenges repeatedly. The cadets around her were exhausted but inspired. The exoskeletal warrior, who had been skeptical of human capability at first, now looked at her with a quiet respect. The Lumerian pilot occasionally glanced at Kayla, taking notes on her reactions and methods, while the Orion strategist asked questions about her thought process in guiding the creature. Kayla answered each calmly, emphasizing the principles that guided every human action: observation, patience, adaptability, and courage. Humans survived and thrived not because they were the strongest, but because they were clever, resilient, and persistent. Upon arrival at the academy, the shuttle was met with a mixture of anticipation and awe. Word of Kayla's feat had already spread among cadets and instructors. Even those who had doubted humans now watched carefully as she disembarked, noting her calm demeanor, steady steps, and the quiet confidence that radiated from her. Kayla felt no need to speak loudly or boast. Her actions had already spoken for her. Respect, she knew, was earned through deeds, not words. The containment creature was transported separately, monitored by the Academy's most advanced systems. Its behavior remained stable, and Kayla continued to provide guidance remotely, advising on any adjustments necessary to ensure safety. The instructors, who had initially doubted her, observed the process closely. Some whispered to one another, acknowledging the remarkable precision with which she had orchestrated the containment. It was more than strength. It was strategy, intelligence, and an understanding of forces most species underestimated. Kayla returned to the human training quarters briefly to rest and review her notes. She documented every interaction with the creature, noting responses, patterns, and the subtle signs of intelligence that had become evident. While other cadets relaxed or engaged in casual conversation, Kayla's mind worked continuously, analyzing and planning. Humans survived because they never stopped thinking, never stopped learning, and never underestimated the importance of preparation. Later that day, Kayla was summoned to the Academy's Central Hall for a debriefing with the Senior Council. The chamber was filled with holographic displays of the containment zone, data readouts, and observations from her team. Commander Ryland stood at the center, his expression a mix of admiration and curiosity. "Lieutenant Voss," he began, "your actions have shifted our understanding of human potential, but there is more we must consider. The creature's behavior demonstrates not only raw strength but the capacity to adapt. It may encounter other challenges in the future, and we must be prepared to respond." Kayla listened carefully, analyzing the information presented. The creature's intelligence meant that future interactions would require strategy, flexibility, and constant attention. "Understood, Commander," she replied. "We will continue to monitor its behavior and adjust containment protocols as necessary. Human adaptability is our greatest advantage, and we will apply it fully to ensure success." The council nodded, impressed by her calm and confident approach. They recognized that Kayla's strength lay not just in her ability to survive impact, but in her capacity to think, lead, and inspire others. Humans, they realized, were not fragile. They were resilient, intelligent, and capable of achieving extraordinary feats under pressure. After the debriefing, Kayla returned to her team. They gathered in the training hall, reviewing strategies and discussing observations from the mission. Kayla encouraged open dialogue, valuing each team member's input while guiding the discussion with her insights. She emphasized that survival and success depended on coordination, communication, and the ability to adapt quickly to unexpected situations. Humans thrived because they combined physical capability with mental agility, turning challenges into opportunities for growth. As evening approached, Kayla led the team to a new training exercise designed to simulate unpredictable conditions. The arena was modified with shifting terrain, energy barriers, and variable environmental hazards. The goal was to prepare cadets for the unexpected, teaching them to respond calmly and effectively under pressure. Kayla's approach emphasized observation, timing, and precise execution. She demonstrated how to anticipate forces, absorb momentum, and redirect energy, a skill that had proven essential in controlling the containment creature. The cadets practiced tirelessly, following Kayla's guidance. Each exercise tested their coordination, decision-making, and adaptability. Kayla moved among them, correcting mistakes, offering encouragement, and demonstrating techniques. Her calm presence inspired confidence. Even those who had doubted humans at the beginning of the mission now followed her lead willingly, recognizing the unique combination of intelligence, courage, and resilience that Kayla embodied. During one particularly challenging drill, a mechanical replica of the containment creature charged through the arena. The cadets struggled to maintain control, but Kayla remained composed. She demonstrated the technique of absorbing impact, redirecting momentum, and guiding the machine safely through the obstacles. Her actions were fluid and precise, illustrating the human ability to combine strategy, timing, and endurance. Cadets watched in awe as she managed the force effortlessly, reinforcing the lesson that humans were capable of more than size or raw strength could explain. After the exercise, Kayla gathered the team for reflection. "Today you learned that surviving impact is not about resisting it," she explained. "It's about understanding it, redirecting it, and using it to your advantage. Humans survive because we are adaptable, observant, and persistent. We do not panic. We do not give up. That is why we thrive in situations others consider impossible." The cadets nodded, absorbing her words. They had witnessed her skill, her composure, and her leadership firsthand. Kayla had shown them that human strength was not simply physical. It was a combination of intelligence, courage, and unyielding determination. The lessons they learned would stay with them long after the mission was complete. Later that night, Kayla stood alone on the observation deck, gazing at the stars. She reflected on the journey so far, the arena demonstration, the containment mission, and the training exercises that followed. Each step had reinforced the same truth. Humans were capable of extraordinary resilience when they combined intellect with courage and adaptability. Kayla felt a sense of quiet satisfaction, but she knew that the challenges ahead would grow even greater. Humanity's potential was limitless, but only if they continued to push boundaries and embrace every opportunity to learn, adapt, and lead. A soft chime interrupted her thoughts. It was a message from Commander Rylan. "Lieutenant Voss, your leadership and actions have inspired not only your team but the entire Academy. We request your presence in the Council chamber tomorrow to discuss future missions. Your insights will shape the strategy of our cadets and our approach to unknown threats." Kayla acknowledged the message with a calm nod. She knew that her role was expanding, that humans were no longer underestimated within the Academy, and that her actions would have lasting impact. But she also understood that leadership required humility, focus, and continuous effort. She had proven her ability to survive and lead, but she had much more to teach and accomplish. As she returned to her quarters, Kayla reviewed her notes one final time. She documented strategies, observations, and potential improvements for future missions. Every detail mattered. Humans survived because they did not overlook small details, because they learned from experience, and because they combined courage with intellect. Kayla Voss was determined to ensure that every cadet, every human, and every team member understood that lesson fully. The night passed quietly, with the Academy settling into calm. Yet the impact of Kayla's actions echoed through the halls. Cadets discussed her techniques, instructors studied her methods, and humans began to earn the respect they had long been denied. Kayla's leadership had not only contained the creature safely, but had demonstrated the true meaning of resilience, intelligence, and courage. When dawn arrived, Kayla prepared for the next phase of her responsibilities. The creature remained contained, the Academy had learned invaluable lessons, and the cadets were inspired by human potential. Kayla understood that her journey was far from over. Challenges would continue to arise, each more demanding than the last. Yet she faced them with confidence, knowing that humans thrived under pressure, adapted to the unexpected, and persevered when others would falter. With the rising sun casting golden light across the Academy, Kayla led her team into the new day. Every step, every decision, every action reinforced the lesson that humans were not fragile. They were extraordinary. Strength, endurance, and intelligence combined with courage and adaptability made them capable of surviving and thriving where others could not. Kayla Voss had proven it, and now the Academy would remember it. The story of human resilience was just beginning, and Kayla was determined to ensure that every cadet, every instructor, and every observer understood it. Humans could survive impact, overcome impossible odds, and inspire others through action. And Kayla Voss was the living proof. The Academy was alive with anticipation. News of Kayla Voss's success with the containment creature had spread like wildfire, and cadets from every corner of the galaxy crowded the training halls, eager to witness what humans could accomplish next. Whispers of disbelief had transformed into murmurs of admiration. Humans, once considered fragile, were now recognized as clever, resilient, and capable of feats that defied expectation. Kayla herself moved through the halls with calm confidence, aware of the attention but focused entirely on the task ahead. Commander Rylan met her in the central hall, his expression a mix of pride and seriousness. "Lieutenant Voss," he said, "the Academy has received a new assignment. The containment creature has shown remarkable intelligence. There is a second entity in a remote sector, exhibiting patterns that could pose a serious threat if left unchecked. We believe your leadership and experience are crucial for this mission." Kayla nodded, her mind already analyzing potential strategies. "Understood, Commander. I will prepare immediately. The key will be understanding its behavior, anticipating its movements, and coordinating the team to ensure minimal risk." Her voice was steady, conveying confidence not just in herself, but in the human spirit that thrived under pressure. Back in her quarters, Kayla gathered her equipment and reviewed the data. She studied every detail of the previous mission, the creature's responses, its learning patterns, and the techniques that had worked to contain it safely. She knew that the new entity could present even greater challenges. Its intelligence could surpass expectations, its speed could outmatch most species, and its unpredictable nature would test the team's adaptability. Humans survived in such conditions because they were not easily intimidated. They adapted, observed, and acted decisively. The team assembled in the shuttle bay. The exoskeletal warrior, now fully convinced of human capability, gave Kayla a respectful nod. The Lumerian pilot adjusted their instruments, while the Orion strategist carefully reviewed the mission plan. Kayla addressed them with calm authority. "This mission is unlike anything we've faced. The creature's intelligence means it will anticipate conventional approaches. We cannot rely on force alone. We must observe, adapt, and work together. Follow my lead, trust your training, and stay focused." The journey to the remote sector was tense. Sensors on the shuttle detected unusual energy readings, confirming the presence of the entity. Kayla monitored the readings closely, noting fluctuations that suggested advanced intelligence and rapid movement. The cadets around her worked diligently, scanning data, calculating probabilities, and preparing for deployment. Kayla's leadership was steadying. She reminded them that humans thrived in uncertainty, that their ability to adapt and improvise was unmatched in the galaxy. Upon arrival, the landscape was more treacherous than the previous mission. Jagged rock formations, unpredictable energy fields, and dense, shadowy vegetation created an environment that would challenge even the most seasoned cadets. Kayla led the team carefully, moving with precision and awareness. Every step was deliberate, every observation critical. The creature emerged suddenly, larger and faster than anticipated, its eyes reflecting sharp intelligence. Kayla's mind raced, calculating angles, speeds, and trajectories. The creature charged almost immediately, testing their coordination. She shifted her weight, letting the force carry it past her while maintaining control, and then redirected its momentum toward a reinforced containment zone. Sparks flew as the energy fields absorbed impact, and the cadets followed her instructions flawlessly. Kayla's movements were fluid, precise, and deliberate, a combination of skill, strategy, and human ingenuity. The creature reacted quickly, adjusting its approach with each attempt to contain it. Kayla observed its behavior, noting patterns and predicting actions. Her ability to anticipate its moves amazed the other cadets. No other species could respond with such calculated precision under extreme pressure. She guided the team through a series of maneuvers, absorbing impacts, redirecting force, and maintaining containment. Every interaction demonstrated the unique human combination of courage, intellect, and resilience. Midway through the mission, the creature executed a series of rapid charges, testing the team's endurance and coordination. Kayla anticipated each movement, intercepting where necessary and redirecting momentum with careful precision. The exoskeletal warrior followed her lead, the Lumerian pilot adjusted flight paths, and the Orion strategist calculated optimal positions. The team operated like a well-oiled machine under her guidance, demonstrating that humans could not only survive impact but inspire coordinated excellence in others. At one critical moment, the creature lunged with unexpected force, aiming for a gap in the containment perimeter. Kayla stepped forward without hesitation. Her hands gripped the creature's massive shoulders as she absorbed the impact, twisting her body to redirect its momentum. The ground shook violently under the force, yet she maintained control, guiding the creature safely back into the reinforced section. The cadets watched, astonished, realizing that the human they had once doubted possessed a rare combination of strength, intelligence, and fearlessness. After several hours of careful maneuvering, observation, and precise coordination, the team successfully guided the creature into the final containment zone. Kayla ensured that the energy fields were fully stabilized and that all safety protocols were in place. The mission was a success, but more importantly, it had demonstrated the power of human resilience, adaptability, and leadership. The cadets' perception of humans had transformed completely. What was once considered fragile was now recognized as extraordinary. Kayla gathered the team for a debrief, emphasizing the lessons learned. Humans survive because we do not give up, we do not panic, and we do not underestimate the importance of observation and strategy, she explained. Strength alone is not enough. Intelligence, adaptability, and courage define our ability to overcome challenges. Remember this in every mission, every encounter, and every decision you face. The cadets nodded, absorbing her words with a newfound respect. They had witnessed firsthand what humans could accomplish when fear was replaced with focus, and doubt was replaced with determination. Kayla had not only survived the impossible, she had taught others to do the same. As they prepared to return to the academy, Kayla took a moment to reflect on the journey. She thought about the arena demonstration, the containment mission, and the challenges of the remote sector. Each step had reinforced the same lesson. Humans thrived not because they were the largest, strongest, or most naturally gifted, but because they combined courage, intelligence, and adaptability. The universe often underestimated humans, but Kayla knew that this underestimation was humanity's greatest advantage. The shuttle glided smoothly through space as the team returned to Orion Academy. Cadets and instructors awaited their arrival, eager to hear of the mission's outcome. Kayla's success had not only contained a dangerous creature, but had also inspired the entire academy. Humans were no longer seen as fragile. They were recognized as a force to be respected, capable of surviving impact, adapting to the unexpected, and leading others through even the most dangerous challenges. Commander Rylan met them in the landing bay. His expression reflected pride and admiration. "Lieutenant Voss," he said, "your actions have redefined what we believed humans were capable of. You have proven that resilience, intelligence, and courage are unmatched strengths. The Academy and every cadet here have learned a valuable lesson today." Kayla responded calmly, her gaze steady. "It is not about proving anyone wrong, Commander," she said. "It is about understanding challenges, adapting to them, and doing what is necessary to survive and succeed. Humans have always survived because we do not give up, we do not panic, and we learn from every experience. That is what we must remember and teach others." The cadets gathered around, eager to hear her insights. Kayla shared her experiences, explaining the strategies, observations, and techniques that had allowed them to succeed. She emphasized teamwork, adaptability, and the importance of careful observation. Each lesson was a demonstration of the human spirit. Persistence, courage, and intelligence combined to overcome obstacles that others deemed impossible. As night fell over the academy, Kayla walked through the training grounds, reflecting on the journey. The containment creatures had been challenging, but they had also been opportunities to showcase what humans were capable of. Each success had inspired others, changed perceptions, and reinforced the lesson that humans were extraordinary. Cadets who once doubted her now sought guidance, eager to learn the techniques that had made survival possible. Kayla knew that the universe would continue to present challenges, each more unpredictable than the last. But she also knew that humans were uniquely equipped to face them. Adaptability, intelligence, courage, and perseverance were qualities that no machine or alien technology could replicate fully. Humans thrived not because they were invincible, but because they were relentless, creative, and unyielding. The next morning, the Academy held a ceremony to honor the team's success. Cadets from every sector attended, and Kayla stood at the center, calm yet proud. Commander Ryland spoke, acknowledging her leadership, skill, and the demonstration of human resilience. Applause echoed through the halls, but Kayla's attention was not on the praise. She focused on the cadets, the creatures, and the lessons that would guide them in the future. Her journey had proven that humans could survive impact, face overwhelming challenges, and inspire others through action. The creatures had been formidable, the missions dangerous, yet Kayla had shown that with courage, intelligence, and adaptability, no obstacle was insurmountable. She had turned doubt into respect, fear into admiration, and impossibility into a lesson of human potential. As the ceremony ended, Kayla looked out over the academy grounds. Cadets trained, instructors observed, and the creatures remained safely contained, a reminder of the challenges humans had overcome. Kayla smiled faintly, knowing that this was only the beginning. Humanity had been underestimated for centuries, but now their strength, resilience, and ingenuity were clear for all to see. Kayla Voss had proven it. Humans could survive, adapt, and lead. Humans could endure impact and turn it into an advantage. And humans would continue to thrive, not because they were the largest or strongest, but because they never gave up, never panicked, and always rose to meet the impossible. The story of human resilience, courage, and brilliance had been written in action, and Kayla had ensured it would never be forgotten. Humanity had arrived, and the universe would take notice.